Welcome to This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by thealternativepress.com, Berkeley Heights' daily online newspaper, owned and operated by local residents. I'm Michael Shapiro, owner and publisher of thealternativepress.com and president of the Rotary Club of Berkeley Heights.
And I'm Alexandra Lubisher. Each week, This Week in Berkeley Heights will bring you a roundup of the latest news in Berkeley Heights and look ahead to events around town. Later on in this broadcast, in our community segment, we will be speaking to Len Berkowitz from the Berkeley Heights Environmental Commission, and during the business segment, Jim Wood from the Berkeley Heights Aquatic. In its continuing pursuit to secede from Union County, the Township Council had tax assessor Robert Edgar go over some of the important numbers during the Council's Tuesday, October 9th meeting. County taxes, including county open space taxes, are over $14 million, making the total taxes paid to Union County per capita over $1,100, second only to Summit. The information will be used to determine whether or not to be non-binding referendum to leave Union County and join one of the contiguous counties of Morris or Somerset in November of 2013. Councilmember Robert Woodruff, who is leading the charge, said, "We're looking at the schools too," and noted that plans to have some information for the public in regards to the proposed secession at every meeting. Mayor Joseph Bruno noted, "It's going up every single year, and we didn't want to continue going forward with that." Also at the meeting, Cheryl Himmerman was proclaimed 2011 Person of the Year for Berkeley Heights Senior Citizens Organization. "I didn't do it all myself," she said.
The Board of Education again got good news regarding student test scores at its meeting on Thursday, October 11th. Students in grades 6 through 8 did better than those in similar socioeconomic groupings, district factor groups, and the state in the New Jersey Assessment of Skills and Knowledge tests given in April and May of 2012. 11th graders outperformed the DFG and state in math and the state in language arts literacy on the high school proficiency assessment. And Governor Livingston students outperformed the state and nation on scores for the SATs and advanced placement tests. Governor Livingston Principal Scott McKinney talked about GL student scores in the SATs and advanced placement tests. SAT scores increased significantly over the prior year, he said. In 2011, the combined score for GL students averaged 1675, up from 1609 in 2010. In 2011, the average state score was 1511, and the national average was 1498. In advanced placement tests, 89.6% of the GL students taking them scored a passing grade of 3 or better, compared to 75.1 for the state and 61.5 nationally. At GL, 33% of students taking an AP test scored a 5, the highest grade achievable. The pass rate for individual AP tests follows: 84% for AP Science over 3 years, 87% for AP Math, 96% for AP English, and 97% for Social Studies. Also, 22 students were recognized this week as National Merit Scholars. "I'm exceptionally proud of our students and what they accomplished, and the teachers who helped to get them there," said McKinney.
The Berkeley Heights Rotary Family Breakfast is Saturday, November 3rd from 7:30 a.m. to noon at Mount Carmel. Unlimited pancakes, eggs, coffee, and juice will be served. The tickets are $7 per individual or $20 per family. Tickets can be purchased at the door. Profits to benefit the Berkeley Heights Education Foundation.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break to speak to Len Berkowitz from the Berkeley Heights Environmental Commission.
The pain will not control us. It will never break us, define us, or keep us still. Because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. I'm Alexandra Lubisher, and I'm here with Len Berkowitz from the Berkeley Heights Environmental Commission. Len, I guess first of all, I'd like to know what exactly is the goal of the Berkeley Heights Environmental Commission?
Well, we are, Alexander, we're a group of volunteers appointed by the mayor to advise the town and its commissions and boards on everything related to environmental issues like planning. We look at all the applications that come into the planning and zoning board and alert them to what the environmental implications are. And we have all our own initiatives too to educate and lead the town towards things like energy conservation and environmental sustainability. And Berkeley Heights doesn't have a shade tree commission, so we also kind of look after the trees in town.
How did you get started in the Environmental Commission?
Well, sometime after I retired, and that was maybe 12, 13 years ago, I wanted to give back to the town in some way, and this was an area that interested me. So I made an application, and I was appointed by the mayor. And so I've been on ever since. Most of the time as either co-chairman or chairman. Right now I'm co-chairman of the commission.
And what are some of the challenges that you find in Berkeley Heights, if any, dealing with the Environmental Commission?
Well, there are plenty of challenges. We're kind of catching our breath now. We just finished documenting things that the town has been doing or will be doing, long-range plans and activities for a program called Sustainable Jersey. You know, there are some 566 municipalities in New Jersey, and we were the 9th in the whole state to accomplish enough to be certified at the silver level, which is currently the highest level. So that took a lot of activity. For example, we helped the town get somebody in to do energy audits on all the municipal buildings, and then help them get some grant funding to start installing more energy efficient lighting and other devices. That's one of the many things we've done.
Are there any programs going on that community members can get involved with the Environmental Commission?
Yeah, well, right now one of our biggest projects is with groups of volunteers who are going down all the streets in town and checking on the street trees. Those are trees that are in the town's right of way. And after the storm last October and even before that, a lot of trees are under stress, and some of them are potentially hazardous. And we're trying to document which are the potentially problem trees so that the town can deal with them. Town right now is in the process of hiring a real tree expert to kind of prioritize the problems in town. And so we're always looking for volunteers who are interested in doing that kind of work, learning about trees and walking around inspecting trees. We're also interested in people who might want to have more a street tree planted in their own right-of-way by their own house, and might be willing to sort of take care of it, to give it a head start.
What would be some of the benefits to people doing that?
Good question. We actually had a grant, and we did a survey and hired a consultant to say, what are the benefits of the trees in Berkeley Heights? And amazingly, they came out to be worth over $30 million. And the biggest benefits of all the trees in town is in water runoff control. We're a town that has big flooding problems, and the trees intercept a lot of the rain and help get it absorbed so it doesn't run off and cause floods. The same area, another project that we've been working on is stream blockage in little creeks and streams around town, because that also promotes flooding. Like, we had a group of volunteers from LexisNexis a couple of weeks ago in Passaic River Park, and they were removing a lot of the stream debris. But a lot of it is beyond the capability of individuals, and we're trying to get the town DPW as well as county people to pull some of them out of the rivers and streams.
Excellent. Is there any particular message or something you'd like to let the people of Berkeley Heights know?
Well, anybody like myself who wants to give back and who's interested in environmental causes or sustainability, we have a couple of openings on the commission for terms starting next year. So we'd like to hear from them, and they can contact us at our website, which is bh-ec.org. So we're always looking for more people to get involved and help.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Len for his time, and stay tuned to more in This Week in Berkeley Heights.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. Ooh. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. Joining me here in the studio is Jim Wood, owner and head coach at Berkeley Aquatic. Jim, it's good to have you here.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me.
I was wondering if you might be able to tell our audience a little bit about the history of Berkeley Aquatic.
Well, Berkeley Aquatic was, the facility was built, I think, probably about 55, 60 years ago. 36 years ago, I came back up to Jersey where I grew up, and along with Mike Del Duca, who's part of the Rotary Club, along with you, and, and a realtor, we started the swim team at that point. All right, so the program's been in existence, Berkeley Aquatic Club itself, for about 36 years. Started out as a pretty small program and gradually grew to the spot where we have, we virtually have outgrown our facility. We have a swim team of about 300 athletes. We've won 57 out of the past 62 state championships. We have about 6,000 kids in our swim school, a large master's program, in a pretty small, pretty old facility.
And I know, Berkeley Aquatic is really one of the premier, if not the premier, swimming facilities in the state. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about, about the services that Berkeley Aquatic offers for children and even adults in Berkeley Heights and beyond.
Yeah, we're pretty much open to the public, and throughout Berkeley Heights and throughout other parts of the state. We currently run swim lesson programs for young people as young as age 2, all the way on up through 80-year-olds that we have in some of our adult programs. We run a master's swim program in the evenings. We run age group swimming for all levels, from 6-year-old kids that are getting involved in competitive swimming on up to Olympians and collegiate level athletes. We have open swimming over 20 hours a week, which anybody can walk in, pay $4 and swim laps and enjoy the pool. So it's pretty much an all-encompassing type facility. We also have offered over the years free access to the facility for Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, local police, fire department, state police, et cetera, when they're doing things that are the merit badges or studying for tests, et cetera.
And I know Berkeley Aquatic also has been really involved in the community. I know for the summer concert series here in Berkeley Heights, you were really the primary sponsor of the concert series. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how Berkeley Aquatic gives back to the community.
Well, we've been involved in that. I think our primary role, non-financial, is what we do for young people. The goals of our program have always been, and I've always looked at my primary role as being a teacher and media, my media just being swimming. So we have done a lot, I believe, for young people throughout the years, helping them grow into productive adults. Financially, we've contributed. We've been part of Pat Smith's 5K for a number of times. We contributed this year to the concert series. We have always been probably the largest donator to the Mount Carmel Christmas Fund for years with toys and stuff. And most of our stuff has not been out in the public eye. We started doing a little more in the public eye this year because of some of the issues that have taken place out there, but we've been pretty much a contributor for years.
Well, that's great, Jim. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the petition drive that recently took place, and if you could kind of talk about the issue a little bit for our audience out there who might not know about it.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to. As not hiding anything, we're obviously in the process of suing the town of Berkeley Heights over some sewer issues, and 40 years of business and 35 here, I've never sued anybody and just don't believe in that. And we are looking for another way to get to what we feel is the fair way of handling this without going through further lawsuits. And one of the things that citizens and business owners and people that live in the town are able to do is they're allowed to go out and solicit petitions and ask for an initiative. Initiative is when the vote for something is put up to everybody in the town. So about a month ago, we started soliciting petitions for access to the sewers. It took us about 2.5 weeks to get way more than the number of petitions that we need. And we tried to exceed that number because now they go before the town will certify them. So some are going to be knocked out because of misspellings, or maybe the person is not a registered voter, et cetera. But we're at the spot now, we've turned everything into the town. The next step is the town to certify it. And if they can either do one of two things. They can either accept the petitions and change their ruling, or they can set up a date for an election. And if they set up a date, it'd probably be in a December, January timeframe.
It would be December 2012, January 2013?
Correct.
And that would be a, if it were to go on the ballot as a referendum, what would actually be the question before the voters? Not obviously the total legal question, because that has to be written up by lawyers and stuff, but what would people be voting on?
Yeah, it is written up by lawyers, but I don't know it by heart. It's basically that they'd be voting on whether or not, basically that they should overrule the town council's decision to not allow us to hook up to Berkeley Heights sewers. Berkeley Heights has an agreement with Warren Township that certain lots that bought into it years ago have the right for sewer access, and where we're building on are those lots. You know, the two of our lots did buy into that program. Berkeley Heights denied us that sewer access, and so this is just a way of the town having a true say in the decision that they made.
Is there anything else about the issue that you'd like to talk with our listeners and readers about today?
I just think that they need to realize there's two sides to the issue. I think one of the most important things, and in this environment economically, you don't really get a organization like ours that it really does a lot of great things for the community and great things for the kids without asking for anything back whatsoever. There's no, you know, we're not trying to get tax rebates, we're not trying to get town money, we're not trying to do anything of that sort. I have two very, very good partners, and between the three of us, we have put in over $5 million in this project that we have decided none of us will get a penny back for that. It's just that this is a, you know, there's stuff thrown out there about our two partners being out of state as well. One of the individuals I coached 40 years ago in New Providence, and he's lived here ever since. The other one has 4 athletes that have been in my program for at least 10 or 12 years. They are just people that want to give back to the community. It's a good thing for the community, and I hope the town of Berkeley Heights can see that.
Well, thank you so much, Jim, for joining us here today.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
This has been This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by thealternativepress.com, Berkeley Heights' locally owned and operated online daily newspaper. Special thanks to the Berkeley Heights Communications Committee and the Governor Livingston TV crew for their hard work and dedication in making this show happen. And thank you to you, our viewers. For these and other local news stories, visit thealternativepress.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have a news tip or suggestion? Email editor at thealternativepress.com or call 908-279-0303. Until next time, for thealternativepress.com, I'm Michael Shapiro.
And I'm Alexandra Lubisher. Good night, Berkeley Heights.